Far beneath the throne of Hades, in the deep pits of Tartarus, dwell the foulest of will, which... Sorry about that. Thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and welcome back to my FTB Unstable 1.8 series. And yes, we are still playing around with the will of demons from Tartarus, which gives sentience to our sword and our armor. But yes, we are continuing with blood magic today, and we're going to progress through the next couple tiers. We're going to do living armor, and we should be able to play around a little bit with the item routing in blood magic. So let's get started. Alright, so now that we have a tier 2 altar, we can stick in one of our blank slates, and we can upgrade that to a reinforced slate. Hooray! There we go. And now we have to be careful when we want to make our blank slates. If we put stone in here, it's going to make the blank slate, and then if we leave it in there too long, it'll end up making the reinforced slate. We've got a blank rune and some glowstone and some stone. We're going to grab our reinforced slate along with our apprentice blood orb, and that will make a rune of self-sacrifice that we can use to replace some of the runes in our altar, and it will... Let's do a speed rune right away too. Need some sugar and some stone, which we're out of. But the self-sacrifice will increase the return on our self-sacrifices. The speed rune will obviously speed things up for us. We'll just come out here and replace these runes. We can replace these 4 on the sides. We can't replace the corners on the second tier. Put the self-sacrifice over here, or the speed rather, and we can do any combination of these and those 4. So let's demonstrate this rune, the self-sacrifice rune. If we take our divination sigil, we can see we have 3408 LP, and then if we do a sacrifice, normally each heart gives us 200 LP. That's 100 per health point. If we hit ourselves once now with the dagger, we would have normally gained 200 points just now. We had 3408 again. Now we have 3628. So we gained 220. So it did add that 10%. Hey, look at me, I'm in creative mode. I'm just about to make the tier 2 altar, but before I did that, I wanted to show you a little trick. If you don't know how to make the other tiers, you can go into creative mode and you can grab this altar maker. Just because the at least for the documentation for the 1.8 version of blood magic doesn't describe this, although I don't think it's changed since the earlier versions. But just in case you need to know, if you take this altar maker and shift right click it, you can set it to the different tiers. So you can see in the lower left it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we want to see how to make a tier 2 altar, we just right click and it's going to make the tier 2 altar for us. And then we shift to go to tier 3. And there's our tier 3 altar. So and that's what we're going to do next. And it's 20 runes. It doesn't have to be blank like it says here. 8 solid blocks. They don't have to be stone bricks. It can be any solid blocks. And then 4 glowstone. Now those do have to be glowstone. So we basically need 20 runes, 4 glowstone, and then 8 solid blocks of any kind. So if we go all the way up to tier 6, we can see that this is basically what we're going to be building in the long run. And of course, while that is a wonderful tool, we're not going to use that in our survival world because that would be cheating. So most of my altar is going to be underground. I'm going to eventually build like a basement kind of thing. Actually, it looks like I already have one. There was a cave under here. So I've got 20 runes of different kinds. I've got a few speed runes, a few runes of self-sacrifice, and then some blank runes. And the only reason that I do want to have a basement underneath is so that I can swap runes out in the future if I decide that I want to have something different, which I will. I mean, we're like, especially where I have blank runes, I'm not going to want to keep those blank. So we're going to do 5 on each side. I just happen to have 5 of those. Got 6 of these. And then the rest are just going to be blank. For now, we'll probably put something else there in the future. I'm 1 short. Alright, 1 more rune. Nice right there. Hooray! Now, if we right click on this, it should say we have a tier 3 altar. Hooray! And if we do a sacrifice, let's see, we've got 7860 right now. If we do a single sacrifice, we now have 8220. So that's 360 life points we're getting per heart. Wow. 85. Wow. Nice. Our altar is full and our network is full too, which stores 25,000 now because of our apprentice's blood orb. And we can actually go to the 3rd tier, the magician blood orb. Let's do that later. We'll do that later because I want to get our Tartaric gem upgraded and I want to get to our living armor. I had to make another lesser Tartaric gem, so I needed a couple more diamonds and everything else. Block of gold, another diamond, and an imbued slate that we made in our tier 3 altar. Lesser Tartaric gem, which has 245. It needs 240. Hooray! So now we have the common Tartaric gem, which holds 1024. So we can take this guy, right click on it till it drains. And now this, and all that one in here. So I've almost got this guy full, 975. It's taken me a while to get to this point. Maybe not as long as you'd think though, because as we go along, let me get this guy away from them. I earn more per kill. So if we back up here for a second, we can see I have 970.71. I picked this up. Now I have 977.88. So our damage is now up to 15.75. Not as good as I was hoping, but okay. Oh crap, I attracted the cultists. That's not what I wanted to do. Those guys are crazy. Oh no. Oh no. Now I'm in trouble. But they're hurting their own guys too. Oh. Oh, sorry, pig. Okay, let's recover a little here. I guess we're gonna have to go after the cultists too. At least this one, maybe I can lure them away from the other ones, and then I won't trigger their rage. There we go. Oh, I got a book and a few other goodies. So we should be full by now. Oh, almost. Alright, we're ready to do our living armor. Hooray! And I want to try to do this quickly so that we can do it while it's raining. You'll see why in a bit. But first we need to make the binding reagent. And we need 400 will for that. Actually, and we only drain 10 will, so I don't know why this progress bar thing doesn't work, but every 5 seconds we get something. This is supposed to show us the progress. And then actually while that's going on, we're going to need to make armor of every type, or we're going to need every iron armor, so a full set of iron armor is how you would say that. Right, so there's that, there's that, and let's see, what did we do? We need boots and helm. We'll take these, whoops, and we'll take our will back, I mean our Tartaric gem back, And uh-oh, rain's, or the sun is coming up. So we're going to go over here. We're going to kill this guy just to get him out of the way, and we may as well collect his will because we're not full anymore. We're going to do our ash thing again. That's our arcane ashes. And this time our reagent is going to be this binding reagent, which is going to make this big, huge array. And then we could take our armor pieces and put them there. And then we're going to get a bunch of lightning. And I'm hoping that the rain will kind of help prevent the rain from destroying the stuff. I mean, I'm hoping the rain will prevent the fire from destroying the stuff when it gets created. Yay! Alright, there's our living helm. Now we do need a full set. To get the benefits of the armor, we have to have a full set. So we're just going to keep doing this with all 4 pieces. I'll just get the next one ready right away. Yeah, this works perfectly. Do it in the rain. That way it puts out your fires right away and you don't have to worry about the fire destroying the item. Hooray! Okay. And you have to run after it and try to put out the fires while you're trying to avoid being struck by lightning. Hooray! Okay. One more. Actually, I should have made our bound blade right away, too. I think I might... Whoa! Whoa! Random things just teleported me. You stay away from there, zombie. I don't want you picking that up. Okay, there we go. Oh, he just put himself in a trap. That's kind of funny. Alright, we've got our full set now. So why don't we take this off? All we have to do is shift right-click that, and then we have to take this off. Which I'm a little sad about because I really love the Terra Steel armor. It's very great armor. But this living armor is pretty nice too. When we first put it on, we only get iron protection, I believe. At least that's what it said. 6... Yeah, it's iron protection. I don't know why all of our iron bars are filled up, though. That's interesting. And then you see we have upgrade points. It only shows in the chest plate, but it really applies to the whole set. And you have to be wearing the whole set. But we have these upgrade points, 0 out of 100. And we'll learn later how we can actually increase that number. But basically, there are a number of upgrades that this armor can give us. And it's going to be based on what we're doing. So it's actually going to look at our activities while we're wearing the armor and give us... Oh, that was weird. He wasn't there anymore. Oh, he got teleported too. It's that random things thing right there that teleports you. But anyway, it teleports everything. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we're going to get buffs on this armor based on what we're doing. And then each one of those buffs has a certain value, which will fill up to 100. So like the lower buffs, I hear a mob. Oh, this guy's still here. He's been there forever. Look at that. Wow. So the, what do we got now? I lost my train of thought again. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So each buff has, we got quick feet. So because we've been running around a lot, it gave us quick feet. So we're now 10% faster because we have the level 1 quick feet. And you can see that we've used 3 upgrade points. So that particular buff costs 3 upgrade points. So we now have 97 points remaining. And the higher the buff, the more expensive it's going to be. So if we end up with like quick feet 2 or 3 or whatever. I didn't see anything. Oh, here we go. Upgrade acquired. I must have missed that when that happened. So when we get into the higher buffs, they're going to be more expensive. So we can either have lots of different buffs on here, or we can have a few like big buffs. So we have to kind of decide what we want. Of course, I'm running around as I'm talking about this, so I'm going to end up getting quick feet. But while we're wearing, when we first put the armor on, we want to decide what kind of buffs do we want on it, and then we have to do the things that apply to those buffs. So, quick feet is pretty cool. I'm happy to get quick feet. I'd also kind of like to get better protection. So things, you know, like, so if we run around and kill stuff or get hit, allow ourselves to get hit a lot, that will give us buffs that will relate to that. If we do a lot of sacrifices at the altar, oh, our altar is empty. How's our altar empty? Okay, so I guess we'll do some sacrifices at the altar. Anyway, where's my my sacrificial dagger? If we do a lot of sacrifices here, we have a chance of getting a buff that relates to that. That makes our sacrifices more efficient. I think it's called like tough hands or something like that. Yeah, so that's the living armor. So basically, I'm just going to go about my business and do stuff that I'm going to do, and we'll just kind of see what kind of buffs we get on our armor. I'm not really going to try for anything specific. We'll just kind of let it happen naturally. And in the meantime, I want to replace all these runes, because the next thing I want to do now is I want to make the magician. Wait, we have the magician. No, we have the apprentice. I want to make the magician blood orb. However, this guy requires 25,000 LP. Now, our thing holds our blood altar holds 10,000 LP. We need, what was it again? 25,000. So we need 2.5 times as much as this thing can hold. Now, theoretically, we could just stand here and do sacrifices while and just keep filling up our altar, but we're not going to be able to keep up. And one of the reasons we're not going to be able to keep up is this, because we have all these speed runes on here. So this thing is going to drain our altar pretty quickly, and it's, you know, we're going to stick a block of gold in our altar, and it's going to drain it really quickly because of our speed runes, you know, which is cool that it's going to do it quickly for us. However, once the altar drains, we start to get the gray particles instead of the red particles, which means that it's basically reversing the process, and it's going to do it very quickly. So we can't keep up. There's no way that we would be able to keep up with the altar set up the way it is currently. So what I want to do is I want to get some runes of capacity in here. I just got another upgrade. It is tough palms. Hooray! Which is basically going to give us more points for our sacrifices. So in addition to our rune of self-sacrifices, which are adding 80%, I think, because I think we've got eight of them. This also adds another 10%, or is it 20? It's either 10 or 20%. And now you can see we've used 10 out of 100 upgrade points. Check out my hearts, man. Got 4 extra hearts. Healthy level 2. I also got solar powered level 1. I'm not exactly sure what that does. I'll have to look that up. Actually, I wonder if we can tell by hovering over these. We can't. These are all the upgrades that are available. There's tomes available for them all, and there's actually a way to get these too. You can't craft them. You can extract them out of the armor through a ritual, and we will probably get to that eventually. I can almost fill up the altar now with 1 set of health. Look at that. Oh, it's almost full. Actually, I could have. 1 more. Yeah, look at that. Hooray. Right, I had to make 30 buckets. Oh, I don't have enough stone. In order to make 10 runes of capacity, because they each require 3 buckets. There's our 10 runes of capacity. So let's just sleep, because I'm kind of tired of dealing with creepers out there. I just busted out all these runes, and we're going to replace them. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this speed rune as well. I may get rid of more of the speed runes. Oh, and then I just put it back, because, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So now we should see that we have a capacity of 30,000 LP. What? Really? Oh, wow. That's more than I was hoping for. Nice. Okay, I thought these were each 1,000 and that the augmented capacity was 2,000. I wonder if that's a bug, because I'm pretty sure, well, whatever. Okay, I'm not going to argue. Good. That means we'll be able to make the magician's blood orb and with one filling, so we won't have to worry about trying to keep up with it. Alright, we're ready for this. So we're basically upgrading our soul network now to tier 3 with the magician's blood orb. And this is going to take probably quite a while. Let's see. Yeah, we're about half done already. Nice. Thanks to our speed runes. So I think the next thing that I want to do, I'm really tossed up because there's a lot of things I want to do next, but I think that the next thing I'm going to do is start working on automation. We actually are ready to get started with Blood Magic's item routing. So now we can start automating things like making our slates, and since our altar can now hold so much LP, we can basically fill this thing up, queue up a bunch of stone to make slates for us, and we can walk away and do something else and run around and do things that make our armor upgrade. Oh, check this out. I am about 75% upgraded now. I'm at health 4, so that means I have 8 hearts, because each one gives me 4 points, which is 2 hearts. And I have solar powered level 3. I still don't really know what solar powered is. And then we have quick feet level 2 and tough palms level 2. I've been up all night inflicting pain on myself in order to fill up our network. We now hold 150 LP in our soul network. And I also filled up our altar after that. So to get our item routing done, the first thing we're going to need is a master routing node, which is these 3 things. So just, oh, wait. A master routing node, which is these things. It's kind of a little bit expensive, but not terribly bad. But it does require it requires 400 will, and it's going to drain 200 of it. So we'll just put these 3 things here. We've got more than enough will. 1024 to be exact. There's our master routing node, and we only need 1 of those for the entire network. And then I'm going to make a couple of just regular old nodes. These are kind of the generic nodes. It's the routing node. These can be used to like extend the network, but then they're also used to craft the output and input nodes, which we're going to need 1 of each. So there's our routing nodes. And let's see, we still have 814, so we're still more than enough. So glowstone, redstone, and iron for the output. And then glowstone, redstone, and gold. So we can dump all that in there, and then 1 of that. Oh, and those. So that is our output routing node. And then this one, the input needs gold instead of iron. There's our input routing node, and then we're going to need the node router. That's kind of our tool. So we're going to need a reinforced slate. I think that's the tier 2 one. Okay. And then 2 lapis and a stick. You need a lot of stone for this mod, I've noticed. A lot of stone and a lot of diamonds. And we're going to need 400 will, but only 5 is drained. We have 764, so that should be fine. We'll just leave that in there. Stick this in here, and we'll have to keep an eye on it because we don't want it to go all the way to the 3rd tier. So there's our blank. So 1 more little poof like that. There we go. So that is our reinforced. Reinforced. 2 lapis. Will it stack those? It will. Okay. Hooray, there's our wand. And you know what? As long as it's raining, we're going to need to make a bound blade at some point. So why don't we go ahead and make some binding reagent So we need glowstone, redstone, gunpowder, and gold nugget. And then I'm going to need a diamond sword. So I'll do that off camera, and I'll meet you outside. Time for some more lightning. Hooray. Throw our sword in there. Ah! It's a good thing I have so many hearts. Oops. So the bound blade is basically a weapon that's going to help us get some weak blood shards as a mob drop, which we'll need for our tier 4 altar. I'm going to put a chest somewhere. How about right there? I want to put it within 1 block of the altar so that we can... We're going to have a input router node, which will pull items right there. I'll put the output router node, or output routing node, no. Right there. The output pushes items into something. So it's outputting from the node network. This is inputting into the node network. And then we're going to put our master node somewhere kind of central. How about, it doesn't really matter much. Let's just put it on the ground right here. And then we're going to link them all with our node router. So we shift right click and shift right click. And then we do the same thing over here. So now it's all connected. However, it's not going to be very useful at this point because it's just going to randomly pull things and push things. So we're going to need some filters. There's a couple different kinds of filters. We have a precise item filter. That's what we're going to need. There's also an NBT item, which ignores the NBT. Mod item, so you can sort things by mod. And then there's the OR dictionary item filter. We just need the precise item filter, so we're going to need a frame part, which is glass, stone, and a blank slate. Do I have any blank slates? No. Okay, so I'm going to we're going to need 3 of them. So most of the stuff is pretty cheap. It's really, I mean, once you get that master node, which is the most expensive part, and it requires that you have the tier 3 stuff to make. Once you get that, the rest of the stuff isn't terribly expensive. Okay. I think we only need 2. We might need 1 more, but we'll see. So let's say we want to make a stack of blank slates. So we can say, let's see, that direction is east. So we can say on the east side, we are putting in an item filter, and we're pulling stone. There we go. Shift left click brought us to everything. So any stone we put in there, it's going to pull it into our network, and it's going to drop it into here. And that's the only thing that's going to try to pull from that chest. Oh crap, we need an output. We want our chest to pull every blank slate. We could also, if we wanted to, actually, let's just start with that. Let's start with a simple thing and see what happens. So it's in there. It's staying in there. It's doing its particle thing. Okay, now it's a blank slate. Now it's gone and went in here. Yay! Nice. All right, let's just get rid of this. So it's whitelisting nothing. So I'm thinking that means, well, let's see. Okay, so when we have an empty whitelist there, it doesn't pull anything from here. So this is the first step in automating our altar. The next step is actually going to be setting it up so that instead of doing self-sacrifice, it's going to be sacrificing mobs. And we're going to have to set up a ritual and everything for that. Okay, so now we have all 3. So let's say we wanted to... Oh, no, that's still a reinforced slate. Never mind. Let's put that back in there. Blank, reinforced, and imbued. So we can use these numbers. We left click to increment the number. So let's say we want to make, say we want to make 8 blank slates and maybe 4 reinforced slates and 2 imbued slates. So we can just throw a stack. Wait a minute. So that's 8. No. So we can throw 14 stones in here. Actually, we'll throw 11 stones in here. It'll pull them out and it'll do those things, and then these 3 I'll just throw in here. You should see that it's putting in the end, we're going to end up with that much stuff in this chest. Everything that we asked for is in here now. We've got the 8 blanks, the 4 reinforced, and the 2 imbued. Check out our new armor. We haven't even really looked at it. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to enchant it between now and the next episode, but we've got our quick feet level 3, we've got our tough palms level 3, we got fierce strike level 1, which I got while I was fighting mobs before. That gives us an extra point of damage, I think. And half a heart. Solar power level 3, which I still don't know what that is, but I think it has something to do with the fire resistance, which seems to be coming and going kind of at random. So, not my favorite one so far, but yeah, and then it just goes away. And then we have healthy, level 4, each level gives us 2 hearts, or 4 points. So in the next episode, we are going to upgrade to tier 4. We are also going to see about getting more upgrades on our armor and bringing that 100 up to 300. And we're hopefully going to get into rituals to automate our LP production using mobs so that we don't have to do our sacrifices anymore. So I hope you join me for that. If you do have any questions, comments, or just want to say hello or whatever, please feel free to do so in the comments below. And of course, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click the like button. And join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.